Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to this channel, hi, you can call me Anu. I will be joining the University of Exeter in the upcoming September for my master's course in publishing. So I'm making a series of videos about my UK application process. I've already made videos related to my IELTS experience, how I received a full scholarship, my application process, and why I chose the University of Exeter for my higher education. So you can go and check those videos out and subscribe to my channel to know every time I upload a new video. Now coming back to the topic of this video, as you can read from the title, this video is about the TB test for UK visa and my experience. So if you are a student who has already applied to a UK university and you've completed all the formalities and have already received your CAS letter, it's time that you apply for your visa. But before applying for your visa, there are a couple of things that you need to do, and one of them is a TB test. A TB test is mandatory if you're applying as an international student. However, there are certain exceptions. There is a list of countries, and if you're from one of those countries, you will not require to do a TB test. But for the rest of us, a TB test is mandatory to apply for a visa. If you Google what a TB test really is, there are actually a lot of methods, a lot of tests available to detect TB. For UK visa, there's only one test that you will need to do, which is a chest X-ray. So there are specific test centers that will do this for you. And to find out which is the test center nearest to you, you can check out again the UK government website. The link is in the description. So go check that out. I live in Kolkata. There was only one test center near me. So the website will provide contact details, phone number and email address of the clinic where you're supposed to do your TB test. Most probably, well, that's what happened in my case. They will direct you to a specific WhatsApp number, so you have to text them in that number and they'll ask you a couple of details such as your name, age, email address and things like that. You will be required to provide that, and you will also have to request for a specific date for the booking. Now after that, they are expected to send an email to you with all the details and rules. By rules, I mean just a couple of documents that you need to bring. Everything that you need to carry with you on the main day, it will be written in the email. For me, I had to carry my passport, I had to know my visa category, I had to know my UK address, and things like that. So everything will be told in the email, don't worry about that. The test center where I got my TB test done was Pulse Diagnostics in Kolkata. I actually went there on a holiday, and that was a pretty bad idea because it was so crowded. I don't know if that's the usual crowd on every other day or it was that crowded because of the holiday, but it was madly crowded. So here's a useful suggestion for you: if you're booking a test, book it on a weekday, so maybe it'll be a little less crowded, but otherwise you'll just have to wait for a really long time. I had to just sit there for like 2.5 hours maybe to get the test done, and the test took literally 1 minute. So yeah, it will take time if it's crowded. So once you're there, once you're at the test center, you will be asked to fill up a form. Like, you need to fill in a couple of details about yourself: your name, your date of birth, your email address, phone number, your house address and things like that. You'll also be required to fill in a separate space with your UK address and details. So that's something you will need to bring with you. After that, you will have to make the payment. The payment actually varies from one test center to the other. For me, it was 1500 rupees. If you're from a different state, the price may be a little bit different. So after all of this was done, I was directed to the X-ray room, and honestly the process was just for 1 minute. In the email that was sent to me, I was asked to wear either loose or baggy clothes or maybe carry something of that sort. I don't know if this is because of COVID or this is the process in general, but I would suggest that you do that because I mean, it's just better to avoid hospital counts during COVID. So that's something you can do. Wear really loose clothes so that they don't ask you to change at all. After my TB test was done, I was given the medical certificate for a check. This was without the result, obviously, so I had to check the details provided there, you know, the spellings, and just to ensure that everything there is correct, I was required to provide my signature as well, and I had to submit it back to them. And after this, it was time to meet the doctor. So I was directed to the doctor's cabin. It was a very quick checkup, just a couple of minutes maybe, and he just checked the result, asked a couple of questions. I mean, the questions are nothing related to my visa process or anything. I mean, it's not an interview, don't be scared. Everything he asked was very general and random, like where are you staying, what course have you applied for, which university, and things like that. Very random. So I mean, just like a chat. So after that happened, I could just leave honestly, because the result would take a couple of hours, and only after that I would get my certificate. So you can either collect the certificate after a couple of hours on the same day, or you can come back on the next day as well. It's completely up to you, whatever is suitable. So it may not really be the same for you, it might depend from one clinic to another. And finally, after waiting for a couple of hours, I got my TB medical certificate. And just so you know, you will not receive an x-ray plate, you will only receive the medical certificate. And what is a TB medical certificate? It is an A4 size sheet with all your details and doctor's signature stating whether or not you have TB. That's all it is. And fun fact, I also made a friend there. She'll be also studying in the UK this September, a different university, but that's okay. So that was pretty much it about the TB test for UK visa. It's actually a very simple process, but there's not a lot of information about it on the internet or YouTube, because I remember before my TB test I was searching frantically on YouTube, but I really couldn't find enough information about it. So here's my video to help you out if you are as nervous as I was. There's actually nothing to be nervous about. I just hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, please show your support. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel to know every time I upload a video. As mentioned earlier, I'm making a series of videos about the UK application process. That is something that you might find useful, so stay tuned for that. And if you still have any questions regarding the TB test or just about anything in general, make sure to comment that below and I'll definitely reply to you. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys again very soon. Goodbye.